again for my Naruto 522 review. Title chapter, I'm already dead. For the chapter, for the cover page, you see Haku. He's touching his ice mirror. And yeah, basically that's it. But at least it's not blank. We see snow. It's pretty cool. Anyways, on to the story. The official story. We see the demon thing coming out of Zabuza. And then these of the rest of the shinobi that are behind Kakashi squadron, and I guess yeah, we see the demon. They're like the demon Zabuza and the cursed ice element wielding Yuki clan. At least we figured out what Haku's last name is, Yuki. Even though it's not relevant, we actually get to know his last name finally. We see all the other the four people there at the four people who have been resurrected. Haku, Zabuza, some other guy, and some Sand Shinobi, I suppose. Alright, on to the review. Keep on going. We see Guy, Sai, Kakashi, and the rest of the squad behind them. Well, most likely, Guy is basically telling, he's like, oh, the demon Zabuza, and I told him to use it. And then Kakashi basically telling them to stay focused. Haku is telling them, asking Kakashi to stop them again, that his dream was to protect Zabuza, and dies his tool. Zabuza, he's basically, he is not very obvious. Basically, it's very obvious already. But Haku's like, oh, Zabuza-san has already been summoned with this technique, and he failed that day by being his tool because he didn't like protect him from being summoned. But Kakashi's basically telling him that he did not see him as a tool. And then he's like, Zabuza's like, keep your mouth shut, because I guess he doesn't really want Haku to let him see that he has a soft side for him. But what I think is odd is Haku, he has like lipstick or something on his lip because it's shaded. And then Kakashi's basically telling Haku that Naruto drove something into him. Then we get into a flashback panel where you see Naruto crying, Zabuza tearing up, because I guess this is the part where Haku basically saves Zabuza from getting pierced with the lightning blade. After this, we see Kabutomaru, none other than the Sinister Snake himself. This guy, he's basically like doing a hand seal, trying to take over Zabuza and Haku's mind, but it's not really working because they were really resistant, and then, but that he's actually putting more into it, and they got controlled finally. And then Zabuza's like, "Oh, I'm already dead. My humanity is dead," which means that his mind is gone. And then Kakashi's like, okay, yeah, I got it. And takes his headband off from his eye. We see his Sharingan. Haku's tearing up. We see their new eyes, like they're actually like they look like they're zombies. Like they actually got control now. We see Haku's like Zabuza-san, thank you. And here they come, and then we have the blast element user Gari, and we have the Paku, who's she's a scorch element. We see Zabuza using his hit and miss technique, making it hard to see. The battle squadrons around the sensor ninjas. That's what Kakashi's ordering them. Kakashi's ordering them to do a manji formation. Zabuza can detect his position through sound alone, which means that they're surrounded most likely by one ninja alone. Sakura's explaining something to him, like the blind spot. Now first miss, and now the air is basically freezing because of the mist. What? Alright, and then we see Zabuza and Haku, they're attacking simultaneously, attacking two shinobi, who are most likely dead now. And then we see Kabutomaru, basically he has Itachi, we see Itachi, Kakuzu, and Nagato, they're heading out, as well as Neji's dad, Azuma, and Dan. Then, we finally see the two people that I've been waiting to see. I've been wondering where these guys were all the time. Suigetsu and Jugo. I mean, where were they? And now, I guess, oh, they're still being Sasuke fanboys and trying to find him. These guys are so strong, but they still follow Sasuke. The Scorch Element user, we get back to the fight. The Scorch Element user uses her Scorch Element Steaming Slaughter. She actually like pierces the guy, I guess, and we see them. They're basically using like their faces are going in like the waters inside them are evaporating. You know, you see they're like they turn into mummies. Their eyes are turning over and everything. Then we see the Blast Element Gary. He just a punch it and basically explodes his enemy. And the guy who blew up was Tajiki, even though he really relevant. But then one of the Shomi is getting really angry right now. But then we see Leaf Coiling Whirlwind by Guy and Lee, the Taijutsu users. They hit Haku. Haku blocks it like that, I guess. No, he's like that. No, like that. Yeah, that's good. Um. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Guy explains to the young shinobi that he will see his comrades die on battlefield, but he must be prepared for that. But if he loses his head, you'll see more of them die than necessary, which I thought was very good for him to say at this time. They need to be prepared to die, as well as see their comrades die. So, Guy's basically beating it into this guy's head right now because it's very important for them to know. Sakura's healing, as always. Zabuza and Kakashi battle it out. Zabuza with his weird kunai shaped thing, and Kakashi with his kunai. They're basically like push against each other. Then we see Come Tomorrow again. He basically has like I guess also the Zabuza spores are attached to him. He said, "Oh, I'm not gonna let my enemy take the place," which means Madara is probably like his enemy. I'm not too sure. And then we see that Paku and Gari do a summoning technique, and they summon none other than the 12 swordsmen, the 7 swordsmen of the mist. I messed up here, sorry. And then Kakashi's like, oh, you gotta be kidding me, not them too. And then, oh, what's a really cool thing is that Zabuza, he has his decapitating knife again. That's a really huge sword, man. And then we see the guy, they're all Mishinobi, obviously, but we see the guy who had the Samahada. We see all of them, the original. And that was the end of the chapter. This chapter was amazing. One of the most amazing chapters I've read so far. I loved it. I mean, what's better than seeing Shinobi fight against each other? We got to see some new techniques. We got to see 2 new bloodline limits: the blast and the scorching. Which the scorching looks like a really powerful one because it basically like I guess it scorches you to death, which means like explodes like fire. And then we see the blast element, which means like just a punch, he exploded his enemy. Kishimoto, you have these very unique techniques, man. I commend you for that. Alright, this is Raven anime manga reviewing. This is my Naruto chapter 522 review. Peace.